Wow, they'd middle-named me. I hadn't been middle-named since I was a teenager living here with Yaya and Aunt Winnie. What the heck was I supposed to do now? I plucked the envelope from the air as Alfred shut the door behind us. He moved closer, as if curious as to what it was. That made two of us. "What have you got?" Owen walked down the stairs, smoothing back his long black hair. He looked freshly showered, which explained why he hadn't answered the door. I lifted one brow. At least I thought I did. Usually I ended up moving them in all directions while trying to lift only one. "Where were you? Did you not hear the door?" He was a morning person. I wasn't. This was his time to be adulty.
"I was in the shower."
He studied me for a moment.
"What's wrong with your eyebrows?"
"Nothing." I waved him off and focused on the envelope, then answered his question. "This floated into the house when I opened the door. I'm hoping it's not cursed." I laughed, even though I was being serious. We all walked into the large kitchen and sat at the table. I spied my son, Wally, on the porch drinking coffee. We'd opened up the back wall of the kitchen to let in more light. Half of the back of the kitchen led into a large conservatory where we grew herbs and plants, mostly for use in spells. The space was big enough. I could put in a small antique wood-burning stove and a workstation for me to do my potions and spellcasting. The ritual room in the attic was used for bigger magical things, like accidentally conjuring Satan last Christmas. Before we'd knocked down the wall, we had to go through the conservatory to reach the back deck, but thanks to a little elbow grease and a lot of magic, big French doors now also led to the porch from the kitchen. I didn't blame Wally for having his coffee out there. We'd recently learned how to create heat bubbles around ourselves, something among the many things Owen had taught us. Since I'd rejected my necromancer side and strongly suppressed even my elemental magic all my life, I'd had to relearn all the things my mother, aunt, and grandmother had taught me as a child and teen. Plus, there was a whole world of magic I'd never given them the chance to share with me. One of my biggest regrets now that they were all gone. "Alfred, will you get Wally?" I said, studying the envelope. A hum of magic flowed from it, telling me another witch had sent it. Alfie grunted and tapped on the glass in the door, making Wally jump and turn with wide eyes. Then he laughed when he realized he'd been startled by the house ghoul. I chuckled softly. Larry and our big fat Maine Coon cat, Snoozle, walked in behind Alfred. Mr. Snoozleton, to be precise, but he was called all sorts of things.
"Good morning,"
Larry said.
"I hope you're all well on this lovely winter morn."
Good grief, the skeleton was a mourning undead person. I didn't do mourning or mourning people, undead or alive, flesh or no flesh. I had to force myself not to roll my eyes at the skeleton's turn of phrase, or the fact that it still creeped me out that he could speak so eloquently without the aid of any vocal cords, or a tongue, for that matter. The doorbell rang, I explained. Then someone knocked until I answered, but nobody was there. Just this envelope. Larry leaned close and his head pulled back as the sound of sniffing filled the air.
"Smells like magic,"
he whispered. "How? Nope. No, I wasn't going to ask how the skeleton could smell. Nope, not asking. Just go with the crazy." "Hello?" A voice from the front door made me turn my head, but I didn't get up. I knew who it was before she spoke. "Come in, Olivia," I yelled. She came over all the time, but I didn't mind. She'd quickly become my best friend and partner in crime, even though we'd been enemies in high school. Times changed us all. Life changed us. "Get in here," I called. "I got a mysterious letter." She hurried into the kitchen with her arms full. Of course she'd cooked. I looked up at her and spied a big pink box. Nope, she'd brought donuts this time. Her son, Sammy, scurried in the room, arms held out toward Snoozle. Nice to see how I ranked with the kid. Did he not know I was the closest thing to an aunt he'd ever have? Snooze hunkered down, but he let Sammy pick him up and hug him.
"Hello, Mr. Snoozer,"
Sammy said.
"I missed you."
The look Snooze shot me made me snort. There was real panic in his eyes. "Okay, he loves you too," Olivia told Sammy. "Put him down." Alfred grunted, and Sammy launched himself into Alfie's arms.
"Hey, Alf," he cried. "I missed you too."
Alfred grunted a few more times, which Sammy apparently understood because they ran out of the room and thundered up the stairs as Olivia's husband and my lifetime best friend, Sam, walked in. "You shouldn't have given Alfred an iPad," Sam said. "Now Sammy wants one. He's been driving us nuts about it." I blanched and shrugged while hiding my smile.